morning, good afternoon, good evening, my friends. Welcome. Be market here at SpartanTrading.com. Happy Valentine's Day to those of you who are so inclined to celebrate. To me, every day is a Valentine's Day. Well, I don't know. It's like the holidays, you know? It's like, why can't we be like this every single day of the year? Welcome to those of you who are joining us on our live YouTube stream. Welcome. This is what we do Monday through Friday. As long as the market's open, we opine, we bloviate. Well, I opine and I bloviate, so I mean, it's like, just saying, that's what we do. So, reality check came in yesterday. And once again, my narrative in terms of, well, are we going to get a cut? Okay, so the offset of that is, well, but the economy has to stay strong, right? Has to grow. So once again, just hear me out. Okay, and I said this last month. I think we've seen the low in terms of on the inflationary side. So far, so good. But this is what I do. Been doing it for decades, shouting it out and saying, hey, hey. All the different pieces I'm looking at say, excuse me, we've hit nirvana in terms of the interest rates. And I'll be honest with you. 3.5% is a noble, fantastic interest rate on the inflation side. Okay, getting interest rates down to that, close to it, has to happen eventually. But from an inflationary point of view, I think 3.5% is really pretty damn good. Okay, especially when you look at deglobalization. I keep saying this word. Deglobalization is expensive. By definition, when you deglobalize, there's no harmony. Everybody's in it for themselves. Cost of goods and services, exports are more expensive. Imports are more expensive. It's just how the way of the world. So look, this is a new world paradigm. So, you know, please don't shoot the messenger. But all I have to say is deal with it. That's all I have to say is deal with it, please. Okay, so we got the pullback that we were thinking about, right? Because of what's going on in the market, interest rate market, right? As long as, and this is going to take time, obviously for absorption, et cetera, but, you know, as long as the economy, stupid, is good, let's do it, okay? Anyways, API crude stocks, greater build than noticed. Big crypto's going fun again, right, overnight. I really, you know, we'll see what happens here. I was really fortunate to, I grabbed some MSTR. My average is at 600. I wanted to do the 500, but I was a weenie on it. So I think we go high in crypto. I think gold withstands and goes higher. So you know the drill, right? Overseas, overnight, Indonesian presidential election, Singapore, 12-week auctions, India, food index, interesting. Inflation, lower than expected, very interesting indeed. Manufacturing, this is very interesting as well, because this is a big engine in Asia Pacific. Remember, Australia, India, really, no dada, right? Inflation out of the UK better than expected. Core inflation a little bit higher, right? PPI higher. Output year over year, I'll be honest with, statistically, I don't know how that happened. Well, it's -4. Anyway, so it's higher. I guess that's how you look at it, right? Employment change, 0.3, 1.3. So industrial production, 2.6%, fantastic number out of the European area. So anyways, we've got our PPI coming, right? Right, the final decision is coming out, and then we have for tomorrow, right? We've got on Friday, right? So anyways, it still becomes and still is the economy. Stupid mortgage backs, 6.87, applications are down, refi. Look, no matter how you slice and dice it, okay, first off, CPI, we know that housing is such an important component. And housing unaffordability, affordability, or lack thereof, is a big issue, okay? And I can just give you representational here of my small little patch of heaven, that they are just nonstop to different towns, working to add housing. Not so much single-family homes, but multi-dwellings places, apartments and stuff like that. And a lot of them also are basically going to be funded with some state and federal money, so there's going to be for special needs, low income, stuff like that, right? It's a problem, okay? No matter how you slice and dice it, it is a problem, right? And we've kind of talked about this, kids staying at home. It's, you know, it's expensive. And I don't, fault anybody, right? PPI, ex-FUNA, core, PPI final, Goalsby speaking. Then we have the EIA numbers, yada, yada. I think we're close on Boyle, on natty gas. I think we're really close. I think we're close on the gold miners, really close, okay? And we'll see how it plays out. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Okay. What do we got? Earnings, Airbnb, Upstart. Can anybody explain to me? I mean, Lyft obviously is a positive narrative, right? But the fact that they kind of pooched it, you know what I mean? I say that out loud, pooched it. They kind of pooched it in terms of the announcement. I thought that was kind of interesting. So, I mean, this is definitely on my radar. As with Twins, and look, Twins is an asset manager. He's got $1 billion under management, okay? His size is obviously not gonna be my size and his personal accounts and stuff like that. I'm just a lowly little, chosen grandmother sort of thing. But anyways, it's interesting to see how there's opportunity. And even though, look, no matter, they took the IWM to the woodshed, and I bought some. I literally bought some out of the money calls, at SPY and stuff like that, saying there should be some sort of bounce, and then we see how things play out. So that's kind of what I did. I bought all of Fang. It was very risky, and the reason why I say it was very risky because all of these were in the money, and anybody who's been here for any length of time knows I don't do in the money stuff, but I did it because I didn't know, right? What kind of bounce we would get. So far so good, and I'll sell some of it, right? We'll go from there, right? So anyways, and I am in NVIDIA, and I bought some SMCI out of the money. I mean, see, it feels like it's out of the money, but God knows what the hell's going to happen with that. I've never seen anything like it. So, and the question is, well, shit, was that the dip when we had that pullback yesterday to 770s? Maybe. I don't know. I just put my head down. So we see here, this Albemarle is going to be Twilio. It's going to be interesting. This is actually a fun week, aside from what happened yesterday. So Sony lowered guidance. So there's lowering guidance. There's raising guidance. The ATMU, the algo driven, momentum driven model comes out today. So far, this is out of Banyan Hill, and it's really interesting because look, momentum begets momentum. And there's just literally no reason, okay, why you can't be thinking about it, right? Right, so we'll see how it plays out, right, and about. So anyways, I don't know. I don't think that changes. Because no matter what, and I think twins will say the same thing from an asset manager, momentum begets momentum. You want to buy the stocks that move higher, and the reason why they're moving higher is, ta-da, potential growth. Large cap growth, even mid cap can move, right? Simply because of growth. It's all about growth. If you can't figure that out by now, okay, then you don't understand the market as a whole. Holy caboliolas, I didn't realize my Uber was up that much. Okay, I didn't know. I guess obviously because of Lyft. My Uber, go team Uber. Cool beans. All right. So anyways, that's a story. It's a good story. What do we got? UK inflation rate remains steady, stocks set to rebound. Okay, so what was the key point that Spartan said at the close yesterday? Anybody remember? What did he say on the bounce? Anybody? Is anyone paying attention? Was anybody there listening? What did he say that was critical to me to give me a green light to do something? 13 EMA, exactly. The S&P had reclaimed the 13 EMA, and we had put these hedges on because it was below the 13 EMA. So I had to scramble, okay, to basically do some stuff because my waiting was basically a function of we were below the 13 EMA. And then we basically reclaimed it at the end of the day. Big, look, I'm going to drive Spartan. It's like driving a horse. I'm going to ride that pony, right? Okay. He's the master technician. He's the best I've ever seen. And if you have to listen to what he says, okay? If something reclaims the 13 EMA and the reason why you did something was because it was below it, you have to basically alter your positions to reflect that. And I did. And I'm having a good morning because most of the stuff I did is in the money now because I did it, well, all in the money, but deeply in the, okay, the bounce. I'm just looking at this as a bounce. We'll see him when he gets on the mic, how he views it. Okay. And we go from there. China is still closed due to the holidays. That doesn't mean we don't get articles that come out. See what they have to say. This is We the People, South China Morning Post, owned by the government. Okay. We all camp confident as he has won first round victory. 5 aircraft carriers in Western Pacific and shows strength. Manila to stay transparent. Stock futures rising after the biggest fall this year. I don't care. You know what? When you have an extension that like we've had, the sky didn't fall. The market's still up quite a bit. This is just basically a reversion, and a lot of things didn't even revert to the mean. Okay, did you know we didn't even take out last week's low in Microsoft? Okay, we did take out last week's low in Netflix. Okay, Meta. We basically did not take out last week's low in Meta. When you have these extensions, it feels like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Okay. All I have to say is it's okay. Right? I'm just saying. Zuckerberg blasts Apple headset, other tech news. Whatever. What do we got going on here? 6 months that short-circuited the electric. Yeah. Tom Zuzzi wins race to succeed George Santos in Congress. So, okay. I have to say something. For those of you who are new, I'm an institutionalist, plain and simple. Since the Constitution, I'm an institutionalist, okay? You know what gives them the right? Do you know that if you do, this is just political grandstanding, that means that any party at any point in time can do bullshit like this and say, I don't like what you do. I'm going to impeach you. Okay? Grow up. Do your job. Okay? This really upsets me. And I know, okay, I'm going to stop. It's a political statement. But this is dangerous. It has implications down the road. So why don't you get rid of the Secretary of Defense? Why don't you impeach him? Because, well, he didn't do his job. He was in a hospital, didn't tell a damn person. Okay? It's a political, I hate this. I hate politics. Okay? And the more and more politicians do things, get involved, that does have long-term implications to the market, whether you like it or not. Like we have an activist, okay, with the FTC. We have activists with the SEC. We have activists. Stop it. Just stop it. Do your job. Represent the people. Okay. I apologize, but I had to say this because I don't understand this as an institutionalist, why these things have to happen. I just don't. I just don't understand it, you know? And I can tell you right now, down the road, this will impact our market. I can tell you this sort of stuff down the road. I don't know when, I don't know how, but it does. The more and more you chip away at institutions, okay, it does impact the market. I'm just saying. Maybe 5 years, 10 years down the road. I'm just saying this is not good for the market in the long run. Flipped earnings. Okay, typo, we know, but it was still good. So, you know, I bought some. All right. What am I going to say? Right? Scientists resort to once unthinkable solutions to cool the planet. That's actually pretty cool. Would it not be cool? Look at that. I think that's super cool. You know what? If it's imaginable, it's possible. We live in a world right now that's absolutely stunningly amazing from a technological point of view in terms of advancements. Okay, why don't you powerful use AI and say, okay, how do we fix this? How can we fix this? That's pretty damn cool. Okay. I don't know anything about that. Okay, what do we got? Uber Lyft measures up. Right? Indian fintech pioneer melts down, Paytm. STIs on the rise, reported number of confirmed cases of gonorrhea, syphilis, just so you know. We're turning, okay. Look, I'm just bringing you news. Okay, Bitcoin, another good day. There we go. Inflows into Bitcoin traded funds show no sign of slowing, with nearly 630 million added to Tuesday across all products. BlackRock's IBIT took the lion's share. That's kind of interesting because I'm not in that one. Okay, that's kind of interesting. I have to keep an eye on that one because I'm not in it. But I think, I mean, as long as they're all doing the same, right? I don't know. See if performance-wise it makes a difference. See how? I gotta keep you on your toes. Gotta keep you on your toes. STDs, that means drug manufacturers. Come on, dude, look at it from a stock perspective. All right, gold to GDP. This is a big deal. Okay, so the miners, we have such, okay, one or two things has to happen. the price of gold collapses or miners start to rally. Now, the miners have had really horrible issues on their balance sheet, okay? In the sense that it's been so expensive for them to mine. Okay, they've actually had to shut down a lot of their operations because it's just not profitable. So keep an eye on that. That's an important thing. All right. Using this criteria makes it more secure than it actually is expanding. The last 90% down day was December 20, and a 1-day decline. Okay, so we'll see what happens. I don't know what the hell. Jiminy crickets. Whatever. All right. So we're in the time window for a 10-day low. That was yesterday, I think. And then we rally. See, there's big picture. There's a little picture. So I don't actually use this. I use a 10 EMA on my weekly. Okay, but this is a 10-day cycle, and you can see, since December, he's been using it. It's been working this cycle. So I don't know. This is a 12-day cycle on the NASDAQ. Right? I don't know. We'll see. I love cycles. All right, so here we are. Well, he didn't have yesterday, but he's looking better. Like I say, it looks like he's losing weight. Right. The 4th year of a new president tends to see the most of the gains later. And this is correct. Remember how I showed you the seasonality. The first 3 months were what, cluster, what. And then basically you see this rally that starts to happen. But the problem that I see, okay, and this could be an earnings-driven decline, right? And then that's when you start to buy. So someone asked me about Apple, and I said that we're pretty much getting into strong seasonality with that. Keep an eye on that. I believe the market goes higher. And the reason why I believe the market goes higher is simple. It's dimple. Dimple, it's simple. It's from a movie. Anyways, I believe that GDP is going to stay strong. I believe. Sounds like a song, I know, but I believe it. Right? I believe that we're not going to get interest rate cuts because we don't need interest rate cuts. Okay? That's what I believe. I believe that we're going to get growth and we're going to get more breadth. This is what I believe. Now, I may be delusional and stuff like that, but the reality is, until otherwise stated, this is what we've seen, and this is how so many people have gotten it so wrong. It's because they keep picking tops. Now, if you recall, in October, right, the sky was falling, the sky was falling, the sky was falling, but it was an amazing opportunity to buy. Okay, I still think that when you get, because of the efficiency of this market, stocks selling off 5–10% a day, right? I'm just saying. I just, watch the Cypher guys, all these crypto names, but Cypher in particular, and Wolf. Those are the two that I've got on my radar. You see what I'm saying? Right? What has changed from yesterday, from Friday to Monday, the market Tuesday, the market realized, Monday to Tuesday, the market realized, oh shit, we're not going to get the rate cuts we're going to get. So they had to redo their stuff. Stock pattern, here we go. I have no idea how this works, but okay, it looks pretty, right? Dow, right? Still looks fine. I still think we go higher. Gold is now down right to the back. Just like with oil, I'm being really careful, but I think on a risk reward basis, we're getting close. That's why instead of being, 1.25 on KOLD to oil, we're 1-to-1 right now. Okay. Well, actually, we're a little bit still long KOLD over oil, but we're getting close. Okay. Same thing. Patience. I can wait. Just so you know, I can wait years for trade in a commodity. I can. Weeks, months, I don't care. All right, so this is it. This is interesting. This is it. Okay, but what I want to point out to you, which I think will make sense, The reason why their PE multiple is where it's at is because of growth. I mean, if you look at their forward PE multiples, okay, like I say, the example is NVIDIA, right? It's got a really high PE multiple, but if you look at their forward PE multiple, cracks down because of sales, the earnings, okay? This is why large cap, right? It's earnings, baby. Okay, if you have the capacity to make money. And this is where people get it so wrong so often. And that's why Twins is just a superstar, because he sees this and he's learned from it. And he says, look, I got to put my money where growth is. Momentum begets momentum. Like now, this VOT, I've been in it. I'm up 40% on it. This was a momentum trade, okay, back in December that I got into it because of that momentum algo. I was never in this name before. But momentum begets momentum. And that's what Twins is looking for. I'm just saying. So deal with it. Okay, if you are young, basically online, that's how you're gonna meet your true love, right? Never happened with me. Fax me, right? Through a friend. Anyways, I gotta do something, right? All right, what do we got? Mike. Real output per GDP total hours. Okay, trend up. Okay. What does that mean? Productivity. What does that mean? These are all the engines that can offset a lot of woes. And I've said this to you multiple times. GDP, productivity, all this stuff offsets the, you know what, shit show out of Congress. Earnings, baby, means taxes, maybe means, etc. So productivity is on the rise. Okay. Yeah, I don't. Anyways, what am I going to tell you? Let's take a peek at the top-down charts. I see, why am I using valuations to navigate the cycle? Yeah, I know, but I understand this. But value to me is different than value to you. Okay. Okay, I'm looking at something like a snowflake or something like that, or Airbnb, I mean, these are bigger companies, but they have the capacity. SMCI. Okay, so I've added to it, and I'm overweighted now. Okay, and because I added it aggressively, my average is now not as good as I would like it to be, but it's 700, 712 is my average now. And this is the one I keep telling you, I don't care, BTFD, because I bought it at 16, my story on that one. Okay, so let's talk about this as an action plan. Value, expensive versus cheap. I only look at 4P multiples, okay? That's all I look at. From an investment point of view, I don't care about, okay, I only look at forward P multiples, okay? And if I can get a forward P multiple on a chip stock, okay, why not? Of 28. But then, I mean, like I said, you look at NVIDIA, right? It's 33, right? That's what I'm saying is you're looking at the wrong stuff here, friends. Let's say you're gonna look at Snowflake. I haven't looked at this in a while. Well, that's why I have stops in Snowflake. Anyways, let's move on. Okay, what do we got? I don't even know. Okay, I actually less buybacks and more OD. You know, Apple is really misunderstood in terms of what they do. I'm just saying. And then everybody poo-poos them. NVIDIA got the flowers and just passed Amazon in terms of market value. Go team NVIDIA. Right? Was above Amazon as 2001. Whoop, whoop. Well, by delayed expiration Fed easing now projected major. You know what? I continue to say there's no rate cuts coming. Well, that's interesting on ADG, yeah. Google. Anyways. So I have two ways I'm playing it in two different ETFs, EVGO. And so far, let's see how it plays out. Oh, is eliminate? I think it is actually. Mortgage stock climbs 4%. Uber gains, 3-year targets, adding buybacks. Oof. Downgraded, totally out. And yet it's flat. Fat lift, Boeing. Oh, from Thai. Nice. I hate this Boeing. Oh, you know what? I'll tell you. Since Twins told me back in last year, I don't know when it was, maybe in 2022. You can't trade Boeing. It's an investment. I've been a happier person. See, I'm educable. See, I'm educable. All right, so what do we got here? Insider sales. These are grants. This was the present. I mean, seriously, $38,000. Roku, some profit taking came out. Right? Insider purchases, Children's Place, right? 20 million bucks. 10% owner. Okay. Saying, I don't give a shit. I'm putting my foot down on you. Hey, hey, hey. It's a lot of money. Anyways. Let's see what our friends, the analysts, are up to. Okay. We've got Steve Madden from Piper Sandler, 74% neutral. CGON, this is interesting. A.T. Wainwright, Andres, but 73% buy. Okay, gets my attention. TKO, buy. Morgan Stanley, equal weight. And then we have some of the lower end people. Wingstop. Okay, outperform. I cannot in clear anybody that's a red, you have a high statistical probability of being right than them. I'm just saying. Let's see what's going on here in terms of GoDaddy, obviously based on evaluation. Biogen, overweight to eagle weight. Well, you can see what's going on. Technoglass, buy to hold, right? So a lot of that. Any actual sales? No. And then we go in terms of, and thank you as always, Roger, for what you do in posting. Sentinel One, that's interesting. 15% Cadence, Luca, Lyft, obviously, Mortensen, sell the neutral. Okay, God bless. Seagore, Dino, you know I'm in Dino. An evaluation. So it is. HPQ, Huntington, I am in Huntington Bank shares. You know, it's from the area I'm from. But I'm in their preferreds, and they're up quite a bit. So let's see what the idiots are doing again. And I mean, I can't control myself sometimes. This is like, I've been doing this every single day for 2 years now, saying how stupid they are. Oh, look! Okay. So this last week it was 30%, 7%, 27%. So they're shifting it up. Okay. So now instead of looking for 7, okay, right, we're all the way up to 4. I don't think you get it. I just don't see it. Because I'm bullish on the economy. I don't know what to tell you. Well, let's see what people are doing. Right. MDG, I don't think that's right. Limit. Doesn't look right, doesn't feel right. Shopify, IWM, 1.3 million. Now, after what happened yesterday, you would think, right, with OpEx, and don't forget we're in OpEx, right? You would think. So Max Payne does kick in, okay? You, especially, I started looking at it today, but I looked at it yesterday, and that's how I got that price target. Look, I nearly stuck the landing on right? Nearly stuck the landing on right? Of the 115. Now I'm in 130 calls. See how that plays out. But regardless, this is not what a top looks like. This isn't what a top looks like. You don't see this if we're basically going to have multi-days of selling off for weeks and months. Okay. Now, it could have been our overseas dude, the Norwegians or whomever, sovereign entity, which comes in at times, I understand. Clearly, some people were caught off balance right there. But this, it's not what it looks like. You got Soxel, you got IWM, you've got Shopify. This is not what it looks like on a sweep side. It's just not. 60% calls versus 40%. It's just not. We'll move on. Let's get to this is what we want to get to. Okay. Ta-da! Everything reset, and you've got green. Summation is starting to reset. Oscillators, some of it's turning green, consumer staples, healthcare, the Dow, just in one day, everything. This is the efficiency of the market. It's really pretty stunning. At least I think it is, right? I mean, it just, to me, it's just really stunning. Let's get those 750 calls in the money on NVIDIA. But you see what I'm saying is that this is the extreme, the standard deviation moves on a day-to-day basis are really quite stunning. And anybody's been in the market, the efficiency of this stuff happens within hours versus weeks, months. Totally reset. It'll be interesting to see what the oscillator looks like on South Beach's side. We'll have to ask him about that. Right? It's just remarkable. So here we go. We're already extended to the downside here, so we should get a bounce on the bonds, right? Let's see what's going on here, right? Sea of green, everything's over. Pakistan 64. So this is totally reset, right? Everything has reset except for volatility, right? Everything's reset. Technology flows are still high, but you would expect that, right? So yesterday's efficiency is absolutely positively remarkable. See. So now we're extended on the downside. So all it takes is a bounce on the daily. See how it's all green, right? I'm just saying. Stunning. Okay, so let's talk. Excuse me. So this should have been this, but maybe this is this, and maybe this flips. I don't know. Do I have my hedges on? Yeah. And right now I'm scalping and I'm gonna take profits on everything I swung overnight or have trailing stops on it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay. Um, but you know what I mean? No, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Let's take a peek. I don't know if this is upset, reset. Okay, so wall of worry, okay? I still think, and this is my analysis, okay, that we're in a new paradigm, okay? This is the low end, okay, and this is the high end, and we're creeping up to the mid. That's what I think. This is a dot-com, well, this is a dot-com bubble for all intents and purposes. Whoop, came down, right? And this is where we are. Now, a lot of it is because of lack of breath, but you know, hey, we'll see. Bonds. Okay. A little bit of a bounce on the price. Yield coming in. UK still sticky. Everybody else is down. Rate cuts it. You think? I don't know. Like I say, I'm really proud. This is why I do what I do here pre-market, is because I said I think we've seen a low in CPI. I said that last month. Bingo! And basically, I put hedges on in terms of interest rate products, right? And this is why I prattle on, because for those of you who are joined pre-market, is because this is where the big picture, guess what? My macro analysis impacts your day trading, whether you like it or not. I'm just saying, it does. Good, bad, or indifferent, it does. And I really, 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 really think this whole yield curve thing is a big problem in it. Okay, and I don't know how it works, everybody's piled into the front end.
Alrighty, Beth, ready to pop on whatever here.
Okay. Can you talk again, please? I don't know if it's me or you with the mic.
Hello?
Better, thank you.
Let me guys know. I'm sure it's fine. Think it's okay? No? All good? Think so? Alrighty. Okay, so I'm gonna pop the screen share. If you guys need to chat and have done some, we should click on that Discord link that's email to you, pop in a chat, and look something a little bit like this. First area to go to, guys, when you do come in, click on that disclaimer section, give that a read, as well as go to the new to chat information section, scroll to the very, very top. Top of that section, you can see a link to the disclaimer, as well as this bolded risk reward section. Super important to understand both. In regards to risk reward, guys, most important ratio in trading, so definitely worth checking out there in that regard. Continue to scroll down. We have the summary of how this chat works, breaks down how all the channels work on the left-hand side. So you can properly navigate the chat through the day. Important to be looking. Continue to scroll down. We have the how to read alerts on the opposite equity side, breaking down how to read alerts on both sides. Pretty straightforward in that regard. Below this, options rules that we use every single day. Below that, SPX rules that we use every single day as well. Continue to scroll down. We have any small account, less than 10K, breaking down. If you do have a smaller account, less than 10K, there's some rules, information, discipline you can put in place. You can better manage your account. How to pick ideas from an option director perspective. And lastly, how to pick some small account trades posted in that area when they do make sense. All right, let's take a look at what we got going on today, guys. A couple different things. Pre-market tickers on watch: Tesla, MSTR, ALSN, Coin, ARM, and DTSS. So Tesla gapping up with the market. MSTR, same thing. ALSN, ALSN transmission tops Q4 earnings and revenue estimates gapping up. Coin gapping up and with Bitcoin. ARM gapping up and with the market. DTSS, Data C reports second quarter fiscal year 2024 financial results and operations update. Second quarter revenue is 113 million versus 0.01 million in a year ago period. So let's take a look at these names from a technical standpoint intraday. Actually, just going to reload that platform back up. So I can do so. Oh, this gives me trouble. Always. Just loading up here, guys. One sec. There it is. Okay. There we go. So first two we're looking at, guys, is going to be that Tesla. Tesla and MSTR. $186.51. Pivot to the upside today. Level holds 191.58 to 196.21. Unable to hold. We look for pullback towards 180.25 to that 174.86. Downside leaning bullish neutral. Looking for a continuation bounce today. Looks like that EMA support reclaim on the daily looks good for a continuation. Let's see what happens there. That is Tesla. Let's take a look at MSTR. What a freaking move. So we broke our weekly level that I had on the Sunday's newsletter, which is cool. So let's take a look at where this thing's got room to today. Ugh. Pivot to the upside, 749.14. Level hold 775.76, 798.87. Unable to hold 727.04 to the 706.95 on the downside. Going to be leaning bullish. Looking for a continuation push higher today if the pivot point is able to hold. That's MSTR. That is Tesla. Let's take a look at the rest of the individual names here. So ALSN and coin. It's still a move on ALSN, 1244. That's pretty sweet. That'll be all times, yeah. I think. Let's go back 10 years real quick. Yep. $80.33 is the top end resistance. Okay. So pivot 73.86 to 77.24, $80.33 top below above that. Unable to hold 799 to 68, 81 on the downside, leading bullish, looking for a continuation push higher if the pivot point's able to hold. That's ALSN. Let's take a look at coin. $148.72 pivot level holds 154.22, 160.06, unable to hold 142.54, 137. 35 downside leading bull shooter looking for a continuation push higher today if the pivot point is able to hold. That's coin. That is ALSN. All right. Take a look at ARM and DTSS. ARM's gonna be interesting today. 126.94 pivot level holds. We got room towards 137.17 to 154.23. Unable to hold. 116. Ooh. 116 99 to 109.74. Downside leaning bullish. We're looking for a continuation push higher there today. DTSS 515. You're getting a lot of these low floats running, guys. I think it's pretty sweet. Kind of the names are coming back, baby. Thank you. Pivot to the upside today. 506 level holds. 599, 696, 773. Unable to hold 430. 381, 297. Leaning bullish. Looking for a continuation push higher today. Let's take a look at the spine of the fang. So just an FYI, tomorrow, guys, what I'm going to try to do is, because I fly at like 7s my time, which is early. I'm going to try to come in early, crank out probably the stuff as quickly as I can in the morning. And then I'll have to head out. As you guys know, I'm going to be away for that day, Thursday and Friday. And then, of course, it's a long weekend there. But crank it as much as I possibly can in the morning. Okay, 495.92 pivot on the SPY. Levels able to hold. Room towards 498.34 to 501.17. Unable to hold 493.91, 491, 183, leaning bullish. Nice little EMA support reclaim on the daily. I think we got room for continuation there. I like everything I'm seeing in that regard. Let's take a look at Apple. $185.41 pivot. Level able to hold 186.22, 187.50. Unable to hold 184.45 to 183.33. Downside leaning bullish. Looking for a continuation push higher today. It's Apple. Take a look at Amazon. One 69.59 pivot level holds 170.97, 172.97. Unable to hold 167.59 and 166.75 downside. Leaning bullish, looking for a continuation push higher today. Amazon. Just take a look at Netflix. $559.22 pivot level holds 563.61, 568.53. Unable to hold, we look for a pullback towards 554.44 to 548.70 downside leaning bullshit. We're looking for a continuation push higher there. Let's take a look at Google. Sorry, Meta. All right, guys. Meta 64.94 pivot level holds 4 to 68.05 to 471.64. Unable to hold 460.19 to 455 on the downside, leaning bullish on that name as well. And then last but not least, guys, let's get that Google going. $146.65. Levels able to hold 147.90, 149.40, unable to hold 145.46 to 143.78. Downside leading bullish neutral there as well. So that's the SPY, that's the FANG, those are the individual names we're looking at, guys. I'm gonna go and pass it over to Selpeach while I type up the pre-market action plan, and we'll go from there. Selpeach, if you're ready, she's all yours.
Okay, hey guys. All right, let's see technicals, how they set up from yesterday's little drop. S&P's on the daily, they're holding that EMA support level, so we'll see what they do from here. We had that gap down, but they kind of held. The weekly looks fantastic still, and we'll see. Okay, looks okay for now. So we had that nice move right off the bottom in the last 20 minutes or so. And then we got a gap up this morning, so a lot of guys out of position. I would think a lot of traders went home short, and they're paying the price. Okay, the Nasdaq Q's chart looks the same, below EMA support, but it could jump right back in it this morning. That it will probably, and it looks okay. Let's see. The weekly is what I go by, and the weekly is firmly in bull camp. On the Russell, we had that gap down. It looked like it was breaking out, not so fast. And nice EMA support on the weekly, but I would say I'm neutral on it. And on the transports, the last one, let's see what we got there. It looked like it might be breaking out. No, that's not happening. It's in a trading range. The thing has been dead meat for as long as you can remember. And quite frankly, if you're going to play this market, the only way to play it is with tech, because all the other stuff, it's hit or miss. And for the most part, it's neutral. I mean, all this other crap, if you look at charts or the transports or the Russell, it's just basically a waste of time unless you're a really good stock picker. And maybe you are. If you are, God bless. If you're not, find tech. You could buy anything. Dow was down the 500 points. SPY was down 70, but half hour before the close, it was down 102. So, and the Dow was down 700. So we had that nice move at the end. Transports were down over 400, Nasdaq 270, and basically the higher beta names were the ones that got hit hardest. High PE Tech, FANG. Retail was soft, China was soft, material stocks were soft, home builders, utilities, etc. Banks got creamed. That was yesterday. Okay, so let's see. The bond market had a huge move, higher yields yesterday. So we got that 2-year up to 465. It's 463 this morning. But basically, I would say not at least, but I would say half the move from the down move was recaptured. So the 6 rate cut narrative is really, was in retrospect idiotic. We'll be lucky to get 2 or 3, but we'll see. A lot of numbers to come out between now and then. All right, so we're at 463, up from 420, 418, down from 520 on the 2-year, and the 10-year spread is still around 30, which is where it's been. Okay, 10 years unchanged, 431, down from 5, up from 380, so right in the middle, basically. London, they had a number this morning, an inflation number that was tame. It was at 4%. They expected a little higher, so their rates are down a little bit, about 0.5, 0.6 across the board. And rates in the Eurozone are down, but just fractionally, so nothing to garner from that. Okay, commodities, oil is still in that range, 70, 80, now towards the high end of the range, $78. Natural gas is an unmitigated disaster. If you're long that thing, it's gotten absolutely shit canned. $3.30 to $1.60. So basically down 50% in what, not a long time, since like in a month, a little bit more. Looked like it was breaking out and right back in the shit house. Gold really staying at high levels. Silver, copper, trading range. All these commodities, agricultural commodities, are pretty quiet by and large. Most trading at the high end of the range. Dollar-wise, dollars down against North America, but these moves, guys, in the currency market have been only fractional. Down slightly against the yen. Chinese currency, I mean, it's down 0.05. It's nothing. 7.19, up a little bit against the euro and the pound. So, currencies have been quiet. Commodities have been quiet. Crypto, on the other hand, not so much so. Okay. I think it's reflective of $34 trillion in debt, and it's problematic. And they're buying something that has supposedly limited supply. So Bitcoin's up another 4.5% today. Coinbase is up 5%. Solana's up 5%. These things just continue to roll. That has been the hot hand for sure. That and semis, actually. All right, and let's look at the foreign markets, see what we got there. So on that inflation number out of Britain, their index is up 0.85. They basically have gone nowhere for what, a year or two. The DAX is up 0.3. Over in Asia, we got the Nikkei down 0.6. China was closed for, I think it's Golden Week, they call it. Hong Kong is up 0.8. Taiwan is flat. Okay, there's your backdrop. So we have the banks and Fed. We have two Fed governors speaking today. I thought this was interesting, so I'm going to go off script a little bit and tell you the tale of two market success stories and see what they're saying. Okay, let's go with Gunlag first. Okay, and see what he's saying, and then let's compare it with Gene Munster. Okay, and to show you like nobody knows nothing. Okay, so Gunlag starts his little speech yesterday by saying stocks are trading at levels that resemble the start of the last bear market. Would be wise to have a substantial amount of your assets in your portfolio in cash. PE, price to book, all overvalued. Where they were 2 years ago. Except in this particular case, the yield on the bond market is 500 basis points higher than it was at the time. You also had the pandemic at the time, but whatever. He thinks stocks basically are way overvalued and they're going lower. He says interest rates tend to move in a broad range for 4 to 5 years. He thinks rates are up and they're going to stay higher than people think. Real interest rates were absurdly low for a long period of time, and now they're reasonable. The big problem now is the insane debt level of the US, 34 trillion, and the amount that they will need to borrow to service that debt. Okay, so they continue. That's, I think, part of the bull story of Bitcoin, to be honest, or crypto. We continue to spend 6% above our, deficit spending. This will continue, especially, in a presidential year where they're trying to basically give money away for votes. And that's not a Biden thing. That's pretty much every president, does that when they're running again. When the economy does weaken and the Fed starts cutting to spur the economy, we'll see the rates go less than we think because of that servicing of debt situation. Okay. We had 10% real rates in 84. He thinks we could get high single-digit rates again. Basically, he's pretty bearish. We get the PPI on Friday, and that'll give us a good indication of what the PCE deflator will be on the 29th. So he thinks the numbers coming out, obviously, don't pretend it's not a good situation for inflation. And basically, he's pretty bearish. Okay, so that's one guy. Now let's go to another guy. Let's go to Gene Munster. Okay, Now, he thinks AI is the biggest thing ever, bigger than the internet, and he thinks NASDAQ will go up 2 to 3x in the next 2 to 3 years. Okay, as the AI explosion goes down to all these companies and they become more efficient, be able to do more things, and this propels the stock market higher, especially NASDAQ. So you got the tale of two cities, both guys, pretty smart guys, right? One is more of a bond guy, and he's not often that right about equities, Gunlack, but you know what? He's a smart mother. Okay. And then you got this other guy who's had a Gene Munster has been a really good analyst. He manages money. He's smart and he's been right for a lot of things for a lot of years. And he thinks this AI thing is the real deal. And stocks have a lot more to go on the upside, and we'll take them to levels where they'll crash. Basically, is how he's saying it. Get to extremely overvalued levels and then watch out. But that's what he's saying. Okay, so completely opposite views. All right, so you can go with Gene Munster, you can go with Gunlack, or you could do what I do. Just see what the market gives you, for the next, and trade what you say. Okay. Currently, we have 92% of people think no rate cut in March. 8% still are seeing a rate cut. They are smoking something, unless we have like a major war. Nothing's happening there for sure. And that's what these two guys are saying. All right. What else we got? Mortgage rates surged higher. We're at 687, and so refinancing fell 2%, but is up 12% year over year. Lyft had some numbers yesterday. They screwed up on the release. They said that growth will be 500 basis points, and then they retracted that and said it should have been 0.5. So the stock traded above 20 for a moment, I saw, and then right back to more normalcy at 14, but still decent. Uber had their investor day yesterday. Okay, they're going to buy back $7 billion of stock. This is after their first profitable year. Delta's giving $1.4 billion to their profit sharing plan. Roger Ferguson, who was the number 2 guy at the Fed, risk of a recession has gone up modestly. Mohammed El-Arian saying CPI is a wake-up call for those people who thought that interest rates would fall precipitously. By the way, Gunlack says the 2-year is telling him that over the next 2 years, interest rates will go down 1%, which is really in his wheelhouse, right? Yes, I agree with what Twin said, by the way. It's somewhere in the middle. Gene Munster is always bullish, and Gunlack, he's mostly bearish. So I do agree with that statement. And that's why I say to you guys, I listen to these guys, but it's not going to affect what I do. Okay. India's got 8% GDP growth. So, clearly this is the new China. No one wants to do business there because of political reasons. And so India is, reaping the benefits, and they have an educated workforce. So it sounds like a good idea to me. Ukraine sunk some warship from Russia in the Black Sea. That's, I think, the second one in a couple of weeks. Israel, the same old thing there, right? Nothing really changing, except that border with Hezbollah is heating up, and they're going into that, whatever the name of the city is, right next to Egypt. That's kind of scary there, but we'll see what happens. Merce says Red Sea situation should continue until the second half of 24. That's what they're preparing for. Let's see what else we have. Biden is slamming Trump on his comments as far as NATO, that if people don't pay the bills, then Russia can do whatever they want to them. Sometimes I read these comments from these guys in the power seats, and I just shake my head. I really do. That Secretary of Homeland Security got impeached by the House, but clearly that's not going to happen in the Senate, so they're probably wasting their time. Greenland's ice loss for the past 30 years is 36 times New York City, so it's another warning shot. They had that seat that George Santos had in the House of Reps, and he was booted for basically lying about everything. And they had the election, and the Democrat got the seat. Okay, so now it's 219 to 212, a little bit smaller of a margin. And the winner was Tom Suozzi, who I know, and he is dumber than a piece of wood. Terrible public surfing, in my opinion. He's never had a job in like 30 years. Lyle Brannard, she's talking about shrinkflation. The White House is going after that. Another, probably buying votes kind of agenda. Not surprised at that. Cart laying off 250, 7%. Paramount's laying off 800 jobs, 3%. Nvidia is now worth more than Amazon. Pretty great there. And what's his name sold 12 million shares of Amazon. Bezos. Okay, individual names. Let's see what we have there. We had Lyft was good, Hood was good, Allison, DaVita, Zillow, DTSS, IQV, IAC, LPX, Sony, OC and Sting. SNTG had a lot of 13 Gs today, guys. There was one in SNTG. There was one in ELWS. There was a pipe in COGT. There was a 13D in FlyX. Mercy, Jana increased their stake there. There was a 13D in HRYU. So a lot of corporate stuff. BREA had a 13G as well. So, and Manu, they're tendering for 25% of the Class A shares. Ratcliffe is. On the short side, we had Upstart. We had QDell, which is a real whiff. Stock's getting absolutely plugged. Akamai, Airbnb, it looked good out of the gate, but it's down a little bit this morning. MGM, same kind of thing. Cart, KHC, KRNT, GoDaddy was kind of in line, but the stocks had a great run, so they sold it off a little bit. IMNM is doing an offering at 20, CC. Something's going on in this thing. I can't read my own writing. I don't know. It's down anyway. Echo Labs was downgraded. And let's see the research. Carr, reiterate the sell out of Goldman. Airbnb, nothing really there. Twilo, a sell out of HSBC. Palantir was downgraded to hold there as well. GoDaddy was downgraded by Evercore, but they raised the target to 110. QDell was downgraded a bunch of places. That's it on the short side. Oh, Airbnb, reiterate the sell out of Morgan Stanley, raised the target to 120. And on the long side, we have Hood. This JMP Securities has a $25 target. Anything else? GoDaddy, they got a couple of guys with 130 targets. RBC likes the solar stocks, pushing Fizzler, ENPH, and SEDG. That's really it. There are 3 syndicate deals, IMNN, LRMR, and AAMS. And as far as the market's concerned, we'll see if they can hold these gains. Look, at the end of the day, if the market's going up, it's being led by semis and tech. That's the bottom line. Even yesterday, as soon as the market closed, they were gapping these things higher. It's the only place to be. The rest of the stocks are pretty much noise. And I'm going to rewatch it, Twins, because I was writing stuff down, but he was very concerned about some stuff. So I'm going to go back and listen to it. Thanks for the heads up. And that's really it. Okay, so let's have a good day, guys. Tomorrow, Spartan will be in the morning and not Friday, but we have it covered. We'll be fine. And we'll all have to work just a little bit harder, but that's okay. Hard work never hurt anybody, right? So that's the story, and he'll be on his way with his little bachelor party, which he deserves, and we'll make money here, okay? Spartan, it's all yours, my man.
Alrighty, thank you, South Beach guys. Morning, what's up? What's going on? Let's take a look at what we got going on today. A couple different things. If you guys are new to chat, never done so, make sure to click on that Discord link. That's email, so you're gonna pop in chat. Looks something a little bit like this. First area to go to when you guys do come in. New to chat information section, click on that, give it a read, as well as go to the, so just continue to, sorry, fill in the disclaimer, give that a read, as well as go to the new to chat information section, scroll to the very, very top of the section. We've got a link to the disclaimer, as well as this bolded risk reward section. Super important to understand both in regards to risk reward, guys. Most important ratio in trading, so definitely worth checking out there in that regard. Continue to scroll down. Sorry if how this chat works, breaks down the channels work on the left-hand side, so you can probably navigate the chat through the day. Important so you know where to be looking. Continue to scroll down. We have the how to read alerts on the options and equity side, breaking down how to read alerts on both sides. Pretty straightforward in that regard. Continue to scroll down. We have the SPX rules that we use every single day in regards to the SPX ideas. Below this, any of the small account, less than 10K, breaking down if you have a smaller account, less than 10K, here's some rules, information, discipline you can put in place to get better manage your account. How to pick ideas from an option equity perspective below that. And lastly, high conviction small account trades post in that area when they do make sense. Pre-market tickers on watch. What do we got going on today? A couple different things, guys. So what do we got? We got the Tesla WCC A9 ECL shop and then free. Whoops, that's the wrong ones. There we go. So what do we got going on today, guys? It's the Tesla MSTR ALSN coin ARM DTSS. And if you guys are watching the YouTube stream, I'll simply just pause it, scroll up. You guys can take a look at these, read those there. And then obviously on the option side, you got that. There you go. All righty. Pre-market tickers. Let's take a look at what we got going on today. A couple of things. Tesla MSTR ALSN coin ARM DTSS. Tesla gapping up and see with the market. MSTR gapping up and see with Bitcoin. ALSN transmission. Tops Q4 earnings and revenue estimates. Coin gapping up and see with the Bitcoin. ARM gapping up and see with the market. DTSS. Data C reports second quarter fiscal year 2024 financial results and operating updates. Gapping up there. Let's take a look at these names from a technical standpoint intraday. First two we're going to be looking at, guys, going to be that Tesla and MSTR. So let's have a gander. Ooh, there we go. So Tesla, guys, pivot to the upside today, 186.51. That level's able to hold. Room towards 191.58 to 196.21. Unable to hold 180.25 to 174.86. Downside leading bullish neutral. Looking for a continuation push higher if the pivot point's able to hold. MSTR 749.14 pivot level hold 775.76 to 798.87. Unable to hold 727.04 to 706.95. Downside leading bullish neutral there. Let's take a look at ALSN and coin. ALSN pivot 73.86, level hold 77.24. That level breaks 80.33. Unable to hold 70.99 to 68.81. Downside leaning bullish neutral there. Coin pivot, guys. Pivot is going to be 148.72. Level holds 154.22, 160.06. Unable to hold 142.54 to 137.35. Downside leaning bullish neutral there. Let's take a look at ARM DTSS. ARM, guys, pivot upside today. 126.94 level holds 137.17 to 154.23. Unable to hold 116.99 to 109.74. Downside leaning bullish neutral there. DTSS, what a friggin' ripper. Holy smokes. I almost have to redo all these levels because it's just flying, eh? So I had 503 as the pivot. I mean, you can see what I had there, guys, but you can kind of move all this stuff. I probably have like 991 as the pivot, 875, downside 771. Below that, upside 1107. Use that pivot 1195. Then it starts to kind of move up to 1395, sorry, 1365, 1512, 1723 upper end resistance levels. Very nice move off the lows. Holy smokes. All right, let's take a look at SPY and the FANG. Pivot upside today, guys, and I typed this out for you. Let me do that. SPY 495.92. Pivot to the upside today, in my opinion. This level holds. Room higher into the 498.34 resistance. Breaks. We see the 501.17 tested. Pivot. Unable to hold. Room lower into the 493.91 support. Breaks. You see the 491.83 tested. Leaning bullish, neutral. There you go. So you got to reclaim it, EMA support on the day. Let me just show you actually, guys. Like to give you the vish. So there you go. EMA support reclaim on the daily. Now it's going to be about getting back about 496.34 head and shoulders level. And we got a, flag forming. Talked about this before yesterday. I mean, that EMA support, right? And the weekly look completely fine. So I'm not too surprised. But anyways, we'll see if it rolls over or not. Apple, 185.41 pivot level holds 186.22, 187.50. Unable to hold 184.45 to 183.33. Downside leaning bullish neutral here as well. Amazon, guys. Pivot on the upside today. 168.59 level holds 170.97, 172.97. Unable to hold 167.59 to 165.75. Downside leaning bullish neutral there. Netflix. Pivot 559.22 level holds 563.61 to 568.53. Unable to hold 554.44 to 548.70. Downside leading bullish neutral there. Meta 464.94 level holds 468.05, 471 to 64. Unable to hold 460.19 to 455.02. Downside leading bullish neutral. And last but not least, guys, Google 146.65 level holds 147.90, 149.40. Unable to hold 145.46 to 143.78. Downside leaning bullish on that name as well. VIX Qs IWM. So VIX guys 14.93 pivot. Unable to hold 14.45, 13.69. Able to hold 15.64, 16.31. Not leaning any particular direction there, but there's your levels. QQQ 431.22 pivot. Holds 433.56, 436.34. Unable to hold 428.58 to 425.01. By the way, guys, I will hold my hedge on the Qs. SPX. Pivot to the upside today. We got the, probably could move this up, but 49.52, 49.72, 49.98, 550, 15. Unable to hold 49.35, 49.19. Downside leaning bullish neutral there. Let's take a look at a couple of the other names, guys. SMCI. $635 level hold 680. Sorry, 650.82. 868 above that, and then unable to hold 802, 787. Anywho, guys, that's the spots of Fang. Those are the individual names that we're looking at today. We'll see what happens. Should be an interesting one. Thanks for popping into the YouTube stream, guys. We do this every single Wednesday. And yeah, that's pretty much it.